It's Wellness Wednesday. Welcome to the show. Hope you're having an awesome morning so far.
We're halfway there.
We're halfway there. Everything's going to be fine.
The weather's mixing me up a little bit. Because I don't know. So somebody was it?
Just the weather?
No, listen. Somebody came to Canada. And there was a student, I read this somewhere. There was a student in Canada from another country saying, why is the weather in Canada never right? In other words, why can't you ever rely on the weather forecast in Canada?
Well, you know what? As a former weather presenter,
yes,
it's
ma'am.
difficult to predict because there are so many differences in our weather forecast.
Our weather patterns.
California always talks about, oh, it's so sunny here. In Jamaica, for instance, nobody ever says, oh, nice day, because we talk about the weather all the time. Nobody does that in the Caribbean because it's always nice in the Caribbean. So it's easy to predict there.
I guess also we probably are trapped between different weather patterns too, the way that you are.
And then there's the jet stream that affects the lows and the highs coming in, so it might go lower than you think it's going, and I mean, on a local level, that's my excuse.
Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't realize that we had, maybe the other countries have more accurate weather forecasts because they're not as large as our country is, for one thing.
Right.
And also because they don't have the weather patterns that we have where we're located.
Exactly.
But it's interesting from a perspective of somebody coming here and moving here and saying, your weather is never right.
No, it's never right.
And so, for instance, the rain issue for this week. Originally, the rain was on Wednesday. Then it got moved to Tuesday. And I know this because, remember, I told you I had all kinds of stuff in my yard trying to clean up my garage.
Yes.
And I had my yard was scattered. And I'm thinking, no, I was supposed to have an extra day with no rain. And then it rained yesterday. And now it was supposed to be, and then it changed to be like partly sunny today.
And it rained yesterday.
What?
Man,
and
not till the end of the day, like end of the afternoon. But it poured.
Well, what's it doing out today? I thought it was supposed to be partly sunny. When is that happening later? I don't know. Somebody help us.
Enjoy your day. Regardless, bring an umbrella just in case. You don't have to wear snow boots, and you don't need a parka.
That's true.
Tim.
Okay. Thank you. I've been told. What do you got going on there, Luann?
You know what? Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler have apparently set a brand new Netflix record because they did a movie together. These two, it's their second one they've done together. I forget.
It's called
Murder Mystery.
They did another one together?
Yeah, prior.
I didn't realize that, actually.
Yeah. In the first 3 days, they got 31 million watchers on Netflix, according to Netflix.
HBO is saying, how do you figure out your numbers, Netflix? There's a lot of controversy with this Netflix's claims about the sheer numbers, the magnitude of, and the profits, apparently, that are generated because those people are Netflix subscribers and stuff.
Right.
And some people actually pay based on, I think they base it on $9 a person kind of thing. That's how they figure out the profits or the gross, whatever.
Right.
So people in the industry, including HBO, are saying, we'd like a little bit of transparency on how you do your calculations. Where exactly are you getting these numbers from? Show us the money, as from Cuba Gooding Jr.'s other film. They're just wondering how their calculations were made because they're saying, we know Game of Thrones like skyrocketed for the finale. We have these kinds of numbers, and your numbers are saying that you're close to that, and that doesn't make any sense. So,
why doesn't it make sense?
Because I guess they don't believe that Game of Thrones, that a comedy with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston could compare in ratings to what HBO got for the finale of Game of Thrones.
So their competitor, they don't believe their numbers.
That's true.
No sour grapes there.
Not at all, no.
But interesting. You know what? If I was Netflix, I'd say, here's the numbers.
Would you say that Jennifer Aniston was on par with Adam Sandler as far as reputation, as a film actress, in the industry? I'll tell you my opinion. I think Jennifer Aniston has better acting creds than Adam Sandler.
Too. I think Adam Sandler's known as the rom-com, goofy guy, always the slapstick, the fall down to make people laugh kind of guy. Jennifer Aniston can do comedy and generally has done a lot of romantic comedies, but she can also do drama.
She can, and she has.
When she did that, the one where the woman walks, right?
Oh, that movie where the woman walks.
Shush. Where she climbs the mountain and as a challenge to herself. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name.
The Other Edge of the Mountain, The Other Side of the Mountain. That was the skiing movie. Remember that one? That was a good one for when I was a teenager. So anyway, no. Didn't Adam Sandler, didn't he do one of those things like a Jim Carrey thing too, where he played somebody and people went, whoa, Adam Sandler can really act. He did a drama. I forget what it was, but I think he did something like that. I'm gonna have to look into that. Which
Look
reminds
at us
me,
talking about stuff we can't remember.
I did find out that yesterday's show I talked about Shirley Horn, the chancellor at Algoma University. It was Miss Anabi Cree, for heaven's sake.
Yes.
She was the chief, and it wasn't 6 years, it was 10 years. Sorry, Shirley.
Yeah, she's such a phenomenal woman. Oh my word.
Yeah, speaking of Aboriginal, Shirley does a lot of work with Truth and Reconciliation. In 1610, that's a long time ago, Luann, Samuel de Champlain defeats the Iroquois again in battle near Richelieu River, Sorel, Quebec. What a history we have.
Man, we've been on them for a long time. 1610.
Wow. And interesting also that this was the beginning of the War of 1812. This was when America declared war on Britain, on the United Kingdom. Today. They officially declared war on Great Britain, and president was James Madison. He said because of the seizure of U.S. vessels during the Napoleonic War, and also, this is interesting, because the British opposed the westward expansion of American settlers against the First Nation people. The British wanted the U.S. not to continue to invade native land and move west. I did not know that.
I didn't know that. Britain didn't want them to do that?
The British people supported native resistance to Western expansion.
Really?
And that was another reason why they went to war with
I had no
Britain.
idea.
They didn't want them to continue to kill and massacre.
I mean, the
and
whole
take
thing
over
in my mind
genocide.
with how we've treated indigenous people here in North America is hideous. But what business is it of the UK to say that?
Because it was British settlers originally who went.
I see.
Who started to settle,
Gotcha.
Now, interesting, our record with Aboriginal and original the original inhabitants of Turtle Island. We don't have a great record with that.
No.
Where we were way ahead of the U.S. when it came to slavery. I did not know this either. We originally passed laws against slavery in 1793 here in Canada. It was still Upper Canada, Lower Canada. Simcoe's Upper Canada Assembly passes an act banning the import of slaves in 1793 in Canada. Remember that, 1793. But it wasn't until 1862 that the Emancipation Proclamation in the U.S. took place.
They've always been eating our dust.
And it took them 3 years. After Lincoln issued the proclamation in September of 1862, the final slaves were freed on June the 19th, 1865.
Man, even back then, the bureaucracy.
It's called Juneteenth.
Juneteenth.
In history. Juneteenth, the day that the last slaves were freed in the U.S.
Seriously?
Yeah, Juneteenth they call it. Pretty cool, eh? Welcome to History with Timmy.
Yes.
I didn't care about any of this stuff when I was in school.
No, me
probably
neither.
learned this.
Yeah.
But it sure is fascinating now.
It is, isn't it?
When you're all
like the
grown
whole
up.
UK thing and their involvement. I had no idea. Canadian Shawn Mendes is actually teasing. He's kind of giving us little snippets on social media about another collaboration with Camila Cabello.
I don't know that person.
She's an awesome singer.
Really?
In 2015, he worked with her and did I Know What You Did Last Summer, which was a huge hit for them.
Okay.
And there have been rumors off and on that they're going out together and stuff. They've been friends forever. Neither one of them is admitting to being romantically connected. But yeah, he's hinting at that. And they've been seen a lot together, so.
He's awful good looking.
He is, and he's a really talented kid.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Interesting that I kind of remember though, I think I've asked you this before, do you recall great success in Canada alone before he went mainstream in the US, or did he just go boom and hit?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I remember hearing about him when I was in radio.
Yeah,
but that's probably because I was in radio.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because you have to play a certain amount of Canadian content.
Do you think it's different now? The border has been sort of erased when it comes to
No, I think that Canadians
You
still
still
are-
need to prove yourself
Oh, yeah.
in the U.S. before
Yeah.
you'll be acknowledged in
If-
Canada as a celebrity?
There's no level of success in Canada that can be reached like it can in the
US.
States.
And
Yeah,
do you
which
think
is
that we also
unfortunate.
need sort of acknowledgement from our southern neighbors to say, yeah, this person is amazing, before we in our own country go, oh yeah, they're Canadian.
Yes.
They
Oh,
are.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So you and I basically have to move to the States to achieve our stardom.
Too late for me.
Me too. And besides,
Yeah.
I don't want to be an American. I like being a Canadian.
Me too. I like Canadians.
Canuckians. Hey, so on the show today,
Yes.
we've got our sponsors, KC Security. They've been sponsoring the show all month. Daniel LaPrade is here, local owner-operator of KC Security. We're going to talk about summertime security and some of the stuff that's going on. I know something's happening between Bellevue Park Patrol and the Humane Society. He'll have some... He has scoop. I'm telling you, Daniel has scoop from KC Security.
Well, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why.
Anyway, he's on the show. And then, oh, my friends, Abby and Josh. Trash Talk with Abby and Josh from Clean North.
Oh, right on.
Always a blast. We're talking about Wellness Wednesday, the wellness of our environment here in Sault Ste. Marie. And Luann has the news, and it's Wellness Wednesday. And we're happy you're with us. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back after this.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Listen to them. Children of the night. Alive! He's alive!
Welcome to the Machine Shop, our historic venue and gathering place for friends and family. Built in 1899 on the site of a Northwest Company trading post. Today we are a go-to venue hosting many expos, concerts, weddings, and more. While you're here, choose one of our dining experiences. Enjoy a quiet dinner at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar, watch a game and try wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room, or treat yourself every day to gelato and local coffee at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop, visit machineshopinc.ca.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
So the audience has been hearing us. KC Security is, look at, hey, there's your car. Our sponsor for the whole month. Thank you, Daniel LaPrade. This is Daniel LaPrade. He's the guy, the face behind the name of KC Security. Locally owned and operated.
That's right.
You grew up in Sault Ste. Marie.
5 years now.
5 years in the business.
5 years in the business.
We can also probably drop the little thing about KC, you know, the other KC in the city.
That's right. The other KC Roofing, Siding Renovations.
That's your family
My parents,
too.
Yeah.
So you started your own business 5 years ago. It's been doing well.
Yeah, we've been very busy. You know,
Great
It
contacts.
and it picks up in the summer all the time.
Does
so
it?
Lots of events.
Because there's more events and more outdoor stuff in the summer.
Yes. Oh,
but in
yeah.
the winter, you're pretty busy doing patrols and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
you do a lot of patrols. You go out to cottage country and patrol.
We did. We actually had some vacation patrols out in Gooley this winter.
Is that
was
a-
fun when there were snowstorms? But
Yeah. But that's something that anybody, like if I had a cottage, you don't have to be a business to hire you guys, right? You could just be a
that's
local.
right. You can be any, just the house, or
Household
even for your
security?
house, and you want to you want to check while you're away or a check at night. We've had some where they
What do you mean, check while you're away? We can. I could, if I go on vacation, I can just call you and say, Daniel, I'm leaving my house for a while. Will you come and do mail pickup, newspaper pickup, and
yeah, we do mail, plant watering, everything.
what? Wait a second. Plant watering.
Yes. That's more Nathan's specialty because we've got a jungle in our house.
Really,
of
guys?
plants.
Does he do a lot of?
So he knows his plant stuff, right? But yeah, we do the.
I never thought
plant
about
watering.
this. So what about people who go to Florida for 6 months, that kind of thing? Can they call you up and say, guys, we want you to take care of our house for 6 months while we're away?
And some do, and it all depends on insurance, whether the frequency of it, right? Like, 'cause sometimes
Your rates can go down if you've got somebody.
That's right, and sometimes the insurance actually requires some people to have it every single day.
Every single day.
And those ones, it's like they're forced to, right? And then some only want it they only need it once a week. So it really depends, right?
Wow, that's a whole new spin on it. I've known you for 3 years now, and I didn't really even think about that aspect of it, because sometimes I go on vacation.
Yes.
I mean, I have an alarm system, but that doesn't do me a whole heck of a lot of good if I'm down in the Dominican Republic.
Too, but I mean, like, that's the extra security of having the vacation checks, right? And then some people even hire us. We've had some unique clients where their husband or wife works nights, and they just want somebody to check around the house when their
spouse is alone
with
at
the
home
kids,
with
right?
the
So we've had some really different stuff come in, right? And we accommodate it all.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You have you patrol Bellevue Park.
That's right.
And I was giving a little hint before just before the break, that you work with the Humane Society in Bellevue Park as far as animal control too. Tell me a little bit about that, and there might be some changes or some stricter regulations going on. What's up?
So we're hired from the city of Sault Ste. Marie, right? We're contracted for Bellevue Park, the boardwalk, all those parks, right? There's obviously always been a problem with dogs off leash, right? Topsail Island, it's rampant with dogs. They're running around everywhere, and everybody thinks it's a dog park, right? And then there's been issues. So we're working on getting powers to actually be able to write the tickets for that. But in
you don't right now.
At the moment, we don't. But we are working with the Humane Society currently
because they can't keep up, right?
That's right. They're a great group over there.
They're amazing, but and they're funding. I mean, come on, they work with volunteers a lot. They don't have a lot of money basically, and so they need some support.
Yeah. So which is great for us because they're going with the guards. And then we have some reinforcement, right? Like we've educated people we've been there since May of 2018, right, when we started. So we've been educating for over a year now. So it's definitely.
I know it's a contentious issue,
because people want dog parks too, and
we have a dog park on Second Line. I don't think it's personally, I don't think it's the ideal location. It's a great dog park.
Right, but they need.
I've gone there. I've brought my dogs there. It's wonderful. We need a couple more, and I would like to see one in the downtown core.
Right.
I don't think it necessarily has to be Topsail Island, because obviously it.
Well, that being the premier
it has
park,
sort of been grandfathered in as the dog park, and it's not. And we have to obey the rules. There are regulations. It's a public park. And I know that the dog owners will always say, but my dogs are good. But anyway, laws are laws, and that's the bottom line, right, Daniel?
Right.
And so just if you are planning on, just a heads up, if you are continuing to take your dog to Topsail Island and going off leash, you might be ticketed, and it might be KC security.
And I mean, and that's the thing. We're hired by the city, right?
You don't have a choice
to do a job, and it's taxpayer dollars that pay for us. People don't realize that it is private security, but we're hired by the city. The money's got to come from somewhere,
right?
So people get frustrated when we're enforcing the rules, but
they're city rules.
What we're hired to
You're
do.
Hired
right?
to enforce
do you want us
the
to
rules.
do the rule, to enforce the rules or not, right? And so we are hired, and we want to make sure the city knows that we're doing our job.
And it's all about safety. I mean, most of it is safety for the citizens of Sault Ste. Marie.
For the citizens, for the guards, for everybody.
Yeah, boy, it can get. You must. I bet you get yelled at a lot.
We do, and we get the people who. What really drives me nuts is the people who like to phone me or and complain because the guard is doing their job, right?
Right.
Like I'm just going to dismiss it. Like if the guard is doing their job and they're doing it professionally and they've done nothing wrong, like that being said, if they went overboard, we'll address it. But when you call just because you're mad because you got yelled at because we're doing our job, well, I'm sorry.
Right.
Move along, right? And don't leave a stupid negative review because it's stupid. right? Like, I hate that. Like, they'll go on Google and say, oh, this company did this. It's because we did our job.
Because you did your job, because you were following the rules.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
but you get that, right? It's
of course
business.
you do.
You know, my dad, too, they tell me the story. Like, we talk about it. And he's been doing it 20 years, so he's far more years of...
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You're going to get good reviews and bad reviews, but if the bad reviews are unwarranted, then at least you can point that out and say,
you try to stand on, and flag them out. So.
But you must have a lot of fun in what you do also, on the other hand, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there must be upsides to being in the security business. The customer relation stuff, the being out and about and seeing people. I know, like, when you guys were doing the rink, I love that skating trail on the waterfront. That was a great... Do that again, Sault Ste. Marie. I love that.
Yeah, it's approved again.
Is it approved?
For another year, yeah.
Now that must have been a fun experience for you guys.
I love that, and actually at the beginning of the winter...
See all the little kids and the families out there?
When it first opened, I did a video, right, just to put up on our page, because we got about 2,400 people following, and I was like, okay, let's try to get the word out, and it went viral somehow, and it had 36,000 views. Views? And like so many hundred shares, and I was like, and it was just me showing... and some photos.
Interesting. Also, I do talk about on air when we do promotions for you guys, as we do, because you are so generous to sponsor us. We talk about the fact that if anybody wants to know what's going on in Sault Ste. Marie, just go up to their page, go to their, follow them on Twitter, whatever. Twitter, I often see
Twitter, Facebook,
you tweet
Instagram.
Stuff saying, I'm doing this right now. It's like, I didn't know that was happening in Sault Ste. Marie. What's that about?
Yeah, we keep up to, we promote a lot of our clients, the ones that they're okay with it, right? And then we also are on the ball if there's something going on. Right?
So, for instance, let's see, on the show I had the Go North Music Festival, St. Joe's Island.
Yes.
That's going to be a blast. It's really a one-day event, but you can go arrive on the campsite on the Friday night. There's a bonfire. So it's more like a 2-day event, camping overnight, music all day, artisans, food. Yeah. You guys are going to be there.
We are. Yeah.
You're going to keep us safe.
That Sherry that you had on. This will be the 3rd year they're having us, so it's great.
Another one you're going to be out where? Gooley
River Community Days, which is the same weekend.
Oh, you're busy.
Yeah, so that's Aaron Ruley out there, who they've gotten us back for the 2nd year in a row. Canada Day festivities
at the Bondar.
At the Bondar, right?
I just messaged the city. I just messaged Catherine to see if she could come on the show to promote that event, because it's always fun to hear what's going on in Canada Day.
Yeah, that Poutine Feast that weekend.
Poutine Feast.
Poutine Feast. Yeah.
Is that that's July
28th to July 1st.
June 28th to July 1st, Poutine Feast, and that's going to be down at Ermatinger Clerg. You guys are working that too?
We're doing that, and then also I got word just last week that we got Laird Fair again in August.
Laird Fair. It's going to be a great summer in Sault Ste. Marie.
It's busy, yeah.
So watch for the KC security cars and vans and mobile units driving around. Give Daniel and Nathan a wave and the rest of their staff, and don't give them a hard time if they're doing the job that the city has given them to do, right? Hey, what's that best thing there?
Oh yes, we won the best security company by the Sioux Stars poll there on
kidding
2017 and 2018, and 3 best rated as well.
Congratulations on your success. I always say it's great to hear success stories of young entrepreneurs like yourself who find a reason, who create work for themselves in Sault Ste. Marie and make a go of it. Come back on the show again and give us some more highlights of what's going on in Sault Ste. Marie. Got the finger on the pulse, ladies and gentlemen. It's KC Security, our month-long sponsor, and you can see Daniel and Nathan all around town and all those events we talked about. And we'll be back with Luann right after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
whatever it takes. Stopping at nothing, I'm up in your face. Shaking it off, no matter the cost. I'm feeling the wind, I'm taking it all. I'm paving the way with the sweat and the blood. I'm at the top, I'm rising above. I want the gold, give me the rush. Queen Midas, I got the touch. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. 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 I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing.
Welcome back. Luann Hamilton is, you know how we're doing great film stuff in Sault Ste. Marie?
Yes.
There's a lot, I think there's 2 movies going on right now. Hamilton, I had no idea. They are the 2nd busiest film location in Ontario.
Really?
After Toronto, I guess.
Oh.
Hamilton. I'd never really hear Hamilton as a filming location. They have 9,000 people who work in the film industry living in Hamilton.
Wow.
And the city has now approved the development of this huge, it's a massive film and television hub that's going to be developed. Live, work, play. It's going to have crew training facilities, production campus, post-production studios, animation and special effects studios. It's going to, I saw the drawing of it. It's this entire portion, this whole...
It's like a complex.
It's like a little city in Hamilton that's going to be all dedicated to film and television.
Probably because Hamilton is, you know...
Close to Toronto.
Close to Toronto, but it's not Toronto, as in it's not a big city. So if they need, you know, normal neighborhoods...
Between 2017 2018, they had a 50% increase in the number of permits for films applied.
Holy cow.
There's a $60 million spin-off in the industry because of hotels, restaurants, rentals, people renting short-term locations, whatever.
That's phenomenal.
$60 million spin-off. So this is why Sault Ste. Marie is going to continue to try to get Northern Ontario. I mean, we've got Sudbury, we've got production facilities in Sudbury. They're not amazing, they're not outstanding, they're okay. But the Soo is really working toward creating a Northern Ontario hub, because that's the kind of money that you can bring in through film and television. You can actually have a spin-off of like millions of dollars spent in our community.
Well, there's a woman that you know working with the city.
Jennifer?
Yeah, Jennifer, and she's working specifically to bring films to Sault Ste. Marie.
I believe it's a 3-year contract she's on right now, and that's part of Future Sault Ste. Marie. They found some funds to hire Jennifer, and she is the liaison between film industry. And she's got, I mean, the connections she's made are already phenomenal. I mean, she's bringing people in here. And then you got people like Trish Rainoni, who's a local. Trish grew up in Sault Ste. Marie, but is still sort of based in Toronto, but she's realizing more and more you don't necessarily need to live in Toronto. Her show is My Roommate and Escort, which is now, I was involved in the 2nd season. I was happy to have been in a couple of episodes. But Trish is still up here, and she's still working to get more work, and she's working in film up here as well, and trying to get more projects to come north. So there's a lot of folks.
We have beauty and we have
talent,
majesty, and it's, you know what, we're very, very lucky, and we have to remember that about ourselves, I think.
And then we've developed the Northern Ontario crew.
Yes,
we actually have people who live in Sault Ste. Marie who are qualified to work in television and film, like you.
Like me.
How many years for you in television?
36 it will be.
I'm so glad you stayed up here, because you could have gone away. You got offers to leave town, but...
I did. I got offers, but it just didn't work out because, you know...
Lulu could have gone to Toronto, but she said, I'm going to raise my family in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah. You had to bring that up, didn't you? No, I'm very happy. And you know what? It's interesting because now all my kids live in Southern Ontario, but there are times when I look back and wonder, should I have gone? Should I have? And the status of my life at that point, you know what? I'm glad I stayed, and I'm glad that my kids are as successful as they are. And
they still love to come home to Sault Ste. Marie. That's the thing.
They do.
And they are currently.
Yes, they are currently. So
tomorrow,
we're very happy.
Tomorrow they head back?
Yes, they head back tomorrow.
Oh, you've had a great visit.
Yeah, it's been awesome. It's just been terrific.
Luann has the news just to show you what 33 years in television experience can do.
On a good day. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
Mios is Canadian through and through. And to celebrate Canada's birthday, Mios is offering 20 to 50% off all Canadian-made furniture. Mios knows supporting Canadian jobs, Canadian ideals, and Canadian designers is the right thing to do. And saving you 20 to 50% is a great way to celebrate Canada Day. Now, more than ever, is the time to buy Canadian and to support your local stores. Mios Furniture Fashions. Service before and after the sale. 261 Trunk Road. Where else, eh?
With over 45 years of experience, All Ontario Well Drilling offers hydrofracking and all well drilling services. Call 705-575-8088 or 705-257-9495.
ONNtv was at the scene of a single vehicle collision on Great Northern Road at Northern. While details are few, the passenger does not seem to be injured. Traffic continued to flow, though congested. A pickup truck appeared to have lost control and hit a utility pole. PUC crews were dispatched to the area. Less than a year after freezing driver and vehicle fees in Ontario, the Progressive Conservative government is considering raising them again while bracing for a negative reaction. In a proposal quietly posted to a regulatory registry for public comment, the government says it is seeking to introduce annual fee increases of 2% across the board for various driver, vehicle, and carrier products and services. The posting was up for just 5 days and removed on Monday. Only 2 comments were received, the ministry said. The fee increases would start July 1st and continue for 5 years under that proposal. The proposal said also that there will be a neutral to negative reaction from drivers, vehicle owners, and commercial carriers, with the impact on drivers and vehicle owners estimated to be low, as proposed increases are minimal and will be spread over a 5-year planning horizon. The government froze some driver fees last August, canceling increases that had been set for the following month, leaving the fee for a new driver's license, for example, at $90 instead of $97. A rally to support the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion briefly became heated when an anti-pipeline protester began blasting loud music. Supporters say they want the pipeline project built to create jobs and boost Canada's economy.
Project Reconciliation is an Indigenous-led group that wants to buy 51% of the Trans Mountain Pipeline. We're looking at, the idea of an all-inclusive process of bridging 3 provinces together: Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia, where there's 300 and some odd bands that we want to look at having a coalition and a partnership amongst ourselves to create, economic opportunities by owning the TMX. We're not asking for a handout. We're asking for, a business relationship where First Nations, can be managing, one of the major resources in this country, which is oil and gas, and make sure that it gets to the market, that we're a part of creating jobs, that we're a part of, creating a better quality of life for all of our families.
A report released yesterday by the Insurance Bureau of Canada says that the federal government could help mitigate the cost of flood damage by creating a high-risk insurance pool to help lift the burden off the public purse. The high-risk scheme is one of 3 options laid out in the report, a product of months of work by a national working group co-chaired by the Bureau and Public Safety Canada. About 1/5 of homes in Canada are considered to be at risk of overland flooding, but many don't have coverage for the damage. For those that do, insurance payouts have surged to about $1 billion per year over the past 6 years, based on estimates in the report. Meanwhile, federal payouts to help communities recover from flood damage have quadrupled over the last 4 decades to about $3.7 billion during the first 4 years of this decade, compared with just $300 million during the 1970s. The 3 options laid out in the report include a pure market approach where risk is solely borne by homeowners, another where the government is more involved, and finally, the creation of a high-risk pool of funds to help manage the financial risk. The report suggested the high-risk scheme fares better than others at being affordable for homeowners, efficient at payouts, and accessible to homeowners, but the report stops short of making a recommendation on which option the country should follow.
Democrats don't care about Russia. They only care about their own political power. They went after my family, my business, my finances, my employees, almost everyone that I've ever known or worked with. But they are really going after you. That's what it's all about.
U.S. President Donald Trump kicked off his re-election campaign in Florida with a grievance-filled rally that attacked the press, the political establishment, and Robert Mueller's special counsel investigation into Russian election interference.
For the last 2.5 years, we have been under siege. And with the Mueller report, we won. And now they want a do-over. They want a do-over. Let's do it again. Didn't work out too well. Let's do it again. They want a do-over. We went through the greatest witch hunt in political history. The only collusion was committed by the Democrats, the fake news media, and their operatives, and the people who funded the phony dossier, crooked Hillary Clinton, and the DNC.
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride, by Robinson Motorsports.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
K.D. Lang is one of our Canadian icons. We really need to treasure her. Her voice is outstanding.
Somebody asked that.
Her personality is like dead on. She does not pull punches.
She is one Canadian talent who became famous while still, before she hit the U.S. market.
Yes.
We acknowledged, she was one of the talents that we in Canada went, okay, this one's pretty unique. What a voice, what a talent, what a person. Exactly.
Yes.
Very unique for our country.
Yes.
Trailblazer in Canadian country music, because that's where she started, and she was on the outs with Canadian country music for a while.
Because they Canadian country music listeners and the industry felt like she abandoned them because she kind of changed her genre a little bit.
And also the fact that she's a lesbian, I think, was a kind of an iffy thing back then. We're talking back in the late 80s, is that when?
I would say, yeah. And there was a rumor, the reason I bring her up, there was a rumor, and she recently in an interview has talked about it, and she talked about how, I don't know if you recall this, there was a rumor that she and Madonna had a fling, and she says now that it was just a lesbian chic PR stunt because it was in that era where being a lesbian was chic, she says, and so she and Madonna decided that they were just going to throw that out there.
Oh, they did it together, like they conspired.
Yes.
Look at KD being all like,
right?
I still remember her on the cover. Was it Vanity Fair where she was getting shaved by who?
Denise Richards?
Is that who it was? Somebody.
No, the girl with the mole right here.
Oh, Cindy Crawford.
Yes.
That's who was shaving Madonna?
Well, I think so.
Or was Madonna shaving Cindy?
No, not Madonna.
I mean, was K.D. Lang shaving Cindy Crawford? Or I think Cindy Crawford was shaving Madonna.
Yes.
K.D. Lang.
Yes. K.D. Lang said afterwards, I just about jumped her. She's just gorgeous.
Really?
She's just a beautiful woman. Yeah. She said I was sweating and
I don't even know if K.D. Lang is partnered. You don't hear about that very often.
She's very private.
Does she still live in the prairies? Does she? I think
she does. I think she's based there. I don't know if she lives there full time. And then there was, of course, that time when she spoke out about the beef industry in Canada coming from the prairies. That sort of put people off a little bit as well.
And once again, her country music fans from out west were like, how dare you turn against our farmers?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really a lot of controversy in her career.
Tons and tons and tons. And then you listen to her sing Alleluia, and it's just like, oh my word.
Black coffee. She sang her voice is like velvet.
Yeah, it's so.
Then she also did that really kind of, when she first started off in the industry, that kind of, I am Patsy Cline reincarnated. She kind of went that angle too. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of attention for being a little off center.
Well, and I think that
it worked.
Absolutely. She's of an age now, I would think. Right?
I don't even know how old Katie is. She my age, our age, younger than us? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Hey, remember you were talking about Cuba Gooding Jr.? Alleged assault from a bar incident in New York City, handcuffed, saying that he groped a woman's breast.
Yes.
Somebody else has come forward. Now this is kind of, I don't know where I sit with this one. Her name is Claudia Oshry. Apparently she's a blogger in the U.S. She has a podcast called The Morning Toast. She says when she was a 16-year-old girl, she was involved in a sexual encounter with Cuba Gooding Jr., who would have been 43 at the time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so right off the bat, that would be...
That's wrong.
Statutory rape, is it not?
Yes.
And she said that he did a particular thing that he didn't ask permission, and it was an invasive act during their encounter.
Like, we're talking about fingers and parts.
And so she says that she doesn't know whether she would consider herself a victim, but he did not ask her if he could place his finger in that location while they were together, so she kind of figures it was a sexual assault. But even the fact that she was that age would be...
How could she say she doesn't know if she felt assaulted?
I don't know. So now there's more controversy swirling around Cuba Gooding Jr.
Which is what tends to happen, right? People come out of the woodwork after something like that.
Interesting to see where that one lands.
Yes, absolutely.
You never do know. I'll tell you where we're going to land after the commercial. We're going to land on the grounds of Rotary Fest. This year, an amazing undertaking. Combination of Rotary Fest working with Clean North to have a trash-free
awesome
Rotary Fest. Wait until you hear what they're doing this year, and wait until you hear how you can help. Right after this on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today to help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument. Visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
Is he the one who taught me how to paddle a canoe?
He did.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim. Carolyn Bunting O'Connor and I are just reminiscing back when I was a teenager, and your current husband was friends with a next-door neighbor of mine at our cottage, and I learned how to paddle a canoe from Mike O'Connor, from your husband. Carolyn, I've known Carolyn for also through Rotary Fest. How many years have you worked for the Rotary Club of Sault Ste. Marie?
1995. You make those figures.
How many? Work. Is that 20? Is that 24 years, Carolyn?
It's not that much.
Seriously, that's a long time. You're the events manager.
I am.
You've been putting on. How do you not look older than you look? That's a stressful job.
What are you, 20?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm coming back here.
Yeah. You all remember my friend Josh Philly, and Josh has been. This is like your third time at least on the show.
Third time.
So you're a volunteer with Clean North.
Yep.
And you are the events manager for Rotary Fest. And you're together today because you have this amazing undertaking this year. Tell me the story about how this all transpired, Carolyn.
Well, I mean, again, I've been doing this for a long time, and one of the biggest opportunities that we have with the festival is garbage, is the materials that we produce from a festival. Lots and lots of bags of garbage. So I decided in 2009 that we had to do something.
Okay.
Because it was just all going to landfill. At that point, we were hearing a lot of...
2009?
Yes.
Okay.
We were hearing a lot of stories about the landfill only having 10 years left of life, and
yes, I remember those stories.
Well, we have to be responsible citizens, not only as individuals but as a club. We're producing this festival. We need to do something about this.
Had you also heard the statistics that about, I don't even know the percentage, I've heard as much as 50% of what's going into the landfill is compostable stuff? Have you? Is that?
I've heard
Am
about
I close?
that, yeah.
Somewhere in that area, we're throwing out stuff that does not need to be going into the landfill. It could be going back into the ground to help us with our gardens, with whatever else for the environment. It's much better.
Well, we can make that change.
Okay.
We just need to change our habits. So the thought was, let's start with the festival. We can do this.
Okay.
So we started setting up sorting stations, and I thought, hey, the public can do this.
You gave us too much credit, Carol. I've seen the drive-thrus sometimes, or when you go to leave a restaurant and it says, garbage, plastics, papers, and you look at it and go, somebody can't read because they're not in the right places. Was that what's happening?
Exactly. So once you contaminate it, there was no sorting happening after. It was not, the city workers cannot do that.
Like greasy food in paper recycling can destroy a ton of recycled paper just by having those food greases. I'm learning stuff, aren't I?
Make sure when you put your pizza box in the recycling that you don't have any grease bits in it, because it'll ruin everything.
Cross-contaminate.
Everything, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So a few years back we said, I've got to figure something else. We have to do this. We have to. You just bring us the garbage.
Just bring us the garbage.
And we will sort it and make it go into the proper streams.
That's huge.
It is huge. But it worked so well. The first year we did it, it was amazing.
Were they involved in the first? When I pointed at Josh, sorry.
Clean North. Clean
North was involved right from the get-go?
I said I could not do this myself. I didn't have the right contact.
That was about 3 years ago, you said?
Yes, this is going to be our third year with the sorting tent.
So you saw the potential right off the bat. It made a difference that first year?
Yes, it did. And I was fighting it. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have that responsibility. But once I saw it work, I
saw Clean North in action.
I'm converted. Hallelujah.
I kind of am too. They have that effect on people.
Yeah.
They're kind of like contagious. You and Abby, you're kind of Abby's understudy.
I'm trying to live up to her bar.
Abby Obenshane. She's usually on the show, but she sent Carolyn today. And you guys were same town in...
Yes, Wilmette, Illinois. Same high school.
Same high school in Chicago. Amazing. And you end up in Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah.
And now you're partnering on this really great venture.
Well, we're trying. And so you again, bring us the garbage to this tent and we sort it.
And when you say we, you mean
volunteers.
Rotary Fest volunteers and Clean North volunteers and ONNtv volunteers.
Yes.
I'm off. What week is Rotary Fest this year?
18th, 19th, and 20th of July.
Just so happens, I took my I always take my vacation. Did you know this? Have I told you the story?
No.
Okay, how many parades have you had to cancel in 100 or whatever it is, 90 years?
They only had to reschedule one.
Because the weather has never gotten rained out. It's all...
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Knock wood. This is why I always book my vacation during Rotary Fest.
Yes.
So I'm available to come and sort in the tent.
Wonderful. Nice.
Will you provide the gloves?
I do.
And the masks?
No masks.
I don't need masks?
No, you don't. Just keep your face out.
It's not stinky? We're going to sort it before it gets stinky.
That's right. It's fresh. It's fresh garbage.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I have to admit, there's a bit of a gag reflex, maybe, because I work this as well. I mean, I'm walking
a hands-on manager.
I'm a walking the walk.
Okay.
So I'm in there, and maybe the first 3 minutes, I'm like,
And then you just
this is awesome. This is great. We're doing it.
Sorting is going to be easier this year. Is this all new stuff this year, Josh?
I'm pretty sure they had it last year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I've never... Okay, well, how did I miss that? Look at this stuff. Show the cameras.
Paper plate.
Recyclable.
Paper cup.
Paper cup.
Compostable.
All compostable.
Not recycle. We're going to compost it. It's going to go back into the soil. Into the soil.
Paper napkin.
Compostable. Are you ready for this, though?
Here's the big part of it.
I got so excited by this.
Wood spoon.
Everybody take one.
All right. Wood spoon, wood knife, and wood fork.
These are made of birch. They are wooden. That's that's better than a plastic knife I've ever seen. It's got an actual blade to it.
Serrated edge, yep.
Made in Canada, in Northern Ontario, Northwestern?
Northwest.
Yeah. Northwestern Ontario or Northwestern Canada?
I think Canada.
Canada.
They're made from birch. That's brilliant. Why are we using plastic stuff?
They taste like a popsicle stick after a while, but everyone loves a popsicle stick.
Well, I don't suck on a knife. I don't suck on a fork when I eat.
The spoon might.
I wouldn't leave it in my mouth for any length of time. So that's brilliant.
There are other products as well made of cornstarch and
you said
other plant products.
The cups that the lemonade is served in?
Yes,
looks like plastic, but it's not.
It's not. They're cornstarch, so they're compostable.
Compostable.
So thank you to Lemieux Composting.
Oh, did you bring? I didn't bring that. There's a Lemieux Composting since 1990. Did we say?
Yeah.
Family business, Black Road. They are great community members, and they do great work out there.
If you want to hold your own garbage-free event, you just get a hold of Clean North, and Clean North will organize it through Lemieux's for you, and
or at least advise you on how to do it. Yeah.
So get a hold of Clean North for a garbage-free event. That's a great idea.
Everybody can do this.
Every festival should do this.
Not every festival. Everybody. Every event. Every office. You know.
The offices. Why are we not supporting Canadian industry? Don't buy plastics from China. Support Canadian industry and support the environment and compost.
And we need volunteers.
We do.
Contact the Rotary Club of Sault Ste. Marie.
You're right on
Sign
Queen
up
Street.
to help us in our sorting tent.
Or anything with Clean North. Clean North is always taking volunteers. We have multiple events always going on. There's just always something going on if you want to do anything.
Two great organizations. You can get your community services hours.
And you get your community. There you go, for youth to volunteer. Thank you for being here. Time is so short when you're with us. It flies when we're having fun. Carolyn, send me. I think Nylamos is sending me about 3 different people for 3 different interviews about Rotary Fest because it's one of my favorite times of the year. It really is.
Ribs.
Yes, I'm going to be a judge at Rib Fest. We got to go so Luann can come back. But Josh, always a pleasure. And thanks, Carolyn. Nice to see you. Rotary Fest, Clean North, and composting, recycling, reducing, volunteering. We'll be right after this.
I wanna let go. I wanna let go.
That he fell. Whoa, I'm not driving. I'm way too stoned. How are you feeling, Beer?
Oh, since we had that talk, I'm not driving tonight at all.
What about you, Dave?
You only had a couple of drinks.
And only a couple of puffs.
I don't drink and drive. No way I'm getting behind the wheel when I smoked weed, too.
How are we getting home, then?
Well, you can drive, Dave.
Come on, Dave.
Take one for the team, buddy.
Don't let weed and alcohol influence your decision to drive.
Yeah, I need a ride.
What a great interview. Sounds like Rotary Fest is going to be a hoot. You took holiday, so it's going to be beautiful then.
It is.
Awesome.
And you're going to have a lot of fun without me at work. You'll get a word in edgewise. What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Bobslide Thursday. We'll see you on Mornings with Luann and Tim tomorrow on Thursday.
Thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.